Okay, we're going to use SketchUp to draw this triangle chocolate bar. This one's a bit more challenging than some of the others, but we're going to have a go anyway. First thing we're going to do is we're going to click on here and we're going to open a new model. We're going to open a simple template millimeters. Okay, then we're going to delete the man here and click on rectangle tool. I'm going to draw a small rectangle down here and we're going to resize it to 20, 120 and click return. Then we need to zoom in and we might need to just pan round to get a better view. You might also need to, you might need to use the pan tool as well. And there's our view. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use the Extrude tool and we're going to extrude that 5 millimeters. I just punched 5 into the bottom there and you can see that we've got now a block which is 5 millimeters. Then to make our triangle part, we're going to use the draw tool. We're going to move along here until it selects the midpoint and we're going to go on the blue axis 20 millimeters. From there we can come down to end point and end point and that's created our triangle shape. Then using the eraser tool we erase that and then we want the push pull tool. We can push that through and stop at the end there. So now we've got our rectangle. In fact, I just push that. It often just picks up at the end of there, but there we go. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to find our midpoint here and come down, find our midpoint again and come down and one more time. Make sure that you come down and find the midpoint at the bottom. Then we've divided the bar into 4 equal sections. The next tool, we're going to use a new tool here, the tape measure. Now we need to mark off the top of here and along here. So we're going to just start on here, move the tool along, punch in a 3 millimeter measurement and press return. Now this is rather repetitive and you just need to make sure that you pick up return. So I'm going to go down the bottom here and I'm going to put 10 millimeters down the bottom here. And again down here, 10. Once we have those dimensions, we can bring our line down from guide point to guide point because it's the tape measure tool has actually created some guide points. Once we've done that, we can use the delete tool to take that line out. And we can see now that we've drawn that part of the shape. Now what we need to do is go back to our tape measure tool and come along 3, return, 3, return. In fact, I think if I go in closer now, I can just go and put all my measurements in the top there. And my 10 millimeter measurements down the bottom here. So I just put 10 into length and press return. Along here, move it along, 10, return. Start from this point again, 10 millimeters, return, 10 millimeters, return. Daddy. 10 millimeters, return, 10 millimeters, return. Then, using my pencil tool, guide point to guide point, and if you can see there, I've just missed the guide point there. So I'll go back and select pencil, return, pencil. This is the trickiest bit of this drawing. Once this is drawn, it's fairly straightforward. So once I've put these in from my guide points and deleted these points along here, I can rotate round and we can see here we've got a whole lot missing. But this is now quite simple because we've got our points. We pick our pencil tool, pick this point here, this end point, and we come across on the red axis. Now it's really important that our line's red as we draw across, and that when we finish the line, it stays red, because that means we're coming along on our red axis, and these lines will all be parallel. We would have equally spaced out the whole thing. And one last line here. Then once we've done this, we again use our pencil tool, and it's quite quick to go from end point to end point, end point to end point, just blocking in these polygons. Now once that's done, it's just a simple matter of the last thing we need to do is pick our select tool. I think we'll zoom out for that. Pick our select tool, select. Let's move that over a bit, because you can select these individually and colour them individually. So if I miss some, so I've missed some there, and I'm just going to pick my colour, click on there. Any that you do miss, you can just go back and just put them in. Pan across there. And there it is. There's a SketchUp triangle chocolate bar.